Today I want to talk to you about human trafficking. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is modern-day slavery. You may ask, didn't slavery end in the 1800s? Even though there are laws against human trafficking in almost every country in the world, it is estimated there are more people in some form of slavery today than there ever has been in man's history. It is also estimated there are 27 million people in some form of slavery today. You may ask, why should I be concerned about human trafficking? Isn't human trafficking something that takes place in faraway countries and underdeveloped countries and poor countries of the world? Human trafficking takes place in every country in the world, including the United States, including Michigan, in Oakland County, where I live. I've read information that said that Michigan is 5th in the states for human trafficking, and I've read some information that even says that Michigan is 2nd in the United States for human trafficking. There are several forms of human trafficking. There's labor trafficking, sex trafficking, child soldiers, organ removal. The type of human trafficking I want to talk to you today about is human sex trafficking. Human sex trafficking is when someone is forced to commit a commercial sex act, more commonly known as prostitution, or when a child commits a commercial sex act. No force is necessary because a child cannot consent to having sex. If a child commits a commercial sex act, it's automatically human trafficking. Some people might think, well, aren't people involved in prostitution because they want to be? And don't they make a lot of money? Most people that are in prostitution are forced into that by some form of coercion or fraud. They may be lied to and told that they would get a good job, only to find out that when they arrived, the job that they have to do is prostitution. They may be psychologically manipulated into doing it. Many teenagers are psychologically manipulated by a boy that tells them he's going to be their boyfriend, only to then exploit them in the world of prostitution. Many are forced into it, and they're controlled by fear, and controlled by being beaten, given drugs, having their families threatened, or themselves being threatened. Some are even killed as example to others to do what you're told. And when it comes to making money, they have to turn all the money they make over to a trafficker, or they will be punished or killed. And there are some other facts that I want to tell you about that may shock you. The average age of a person entering into the life of prostitution is 13. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, as many as 2.8 million children will run away each year, and within 48 hours of these children hitting the streets, they will be recruited by someone and forced into the world of prostitution or pornography. According to the Attorney General's office website, 40% of human trafficking victims are children, or exploited children. And I'm hoping by now that you're asking the question, what can I do to help fight this great evil? Here are some suggestions. Educate yourself on this subject, and help raise awareness of human trafficking. Human trafficking is something that takes place in the darkness, meaning the less that people know about it, the less they know that it's going on, the easier it is for traffickers to operate. And the more that people know about it, and the more they know what's going on, the more difficult it is for traffickers to operate. Here are some suggestions of how you may educate yourself, and most of these information can be found online. You can find information on the PolarisProject.org website. The United States of America Department of State Trafficking in Persons Report, June 2014. The UN Global Report on Trafficking in Persons, 2012. Another good source of information is a book, Renting Lacy, by Linda Smith. This book will open your eyes to the world of child prostitution. Another thing you can do is you can take a class in human trafficking. Coursera.com offers a class in human trafficking online for free. You can get involved in a local group that fights human trafficking. There's many local groups. The local group that I'm involved in Michigan is the Michigan Abolitionist Project. They can be contacted at www.michiganabolitionistproject.org or info@michiganabolitionistproject.org. And this may be the most important part of the video. If you or you know someone is being trafficked, please call this number, 1-888-3737-888. This is the Human Trafficking Hotline. Some signs to look for that may indicate that someone is being trafficked. And now these are not the only signs, nor does it automatically mean if you see these signs that a person is being trafficked, but these are some signs to look for. Someone who is homeless. A minor, meaning someone under the age of 18, lying about their age. A minor having hotel keys in their possession. A minor having excessive money or jewelry. Someone who has tattoos, possibly the name of a trafficker or the word daddy or slave. This is how many traffickers mark their victims and identify them as belonging to them. A person that avoids eye contact. Many traffickers will teach their victims to not look them in the eye, and not to look any trafficker in the eye. Someone who has the signs of physical abuse. Someone who cannot speak the local language. Someone who doesn't know their own address and can't tell you where they live. A foreigner not in control of their identification or travel documents. As I've said before, these are not the only indicators that someone is being trafficked, nor does it automatically mean if you see these signs someone is being trafficked, but these are some signs to look for. And I would like to end this video by saying something to those who are trafficked. If you are being trafficked, and if you don't know what traffic means, if you're being forced to be a prostitute, or you're being forced to work against your will for no pay, then you are probably being trafficked. And you're probably scared, and you're probably thinking, I will never get out of this, and no one cares. But I want to assure you, there are people who care, and you can get out. I have heard testimonies, I've read books, and I've seen videos by several people who have escaped exactly what you're going through. If they can escape, so can you. So if you are being trafficked, or you know someone is being trafficked, please call this number, 1-888-3737-888. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. If you call this number, someone will help you.